Cloud. Hi, I'm Danielle President. I'm Danielle Pfeiffer, Regional Vice President and Independent Consultant with Arbonne. You are on our empowerment call for April 11th, the week before GTC. And I am so excited about what we're going to be talking about tonight. So Marie, Nair, and myself are going to be training. So first, Marie Tomlinson, Regional Vice President, and Nair Uminsky, Regional Vice President. Can you two ladies unmute yourself? I don't know who's talking first with you guys.
I think Marie's going to talk, and I'm just going to...
I don't think we know either. Okay, I'll go first. Actually, Nair, do you want to go first? Because most of what's in the frequently asked questions...
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about why Pure Pay?
Okay, so Arbonne, you may have heard some talk about, has introduced actually a new system called Pure Pay. And I'm sorry for all our fabulous Australian folks because it does not yet apply to you. It's just in the United States and Canada.
It does. It's just a little bit different, and I'm going to cover that.
Okay. So what I'm talking about does not cover it, but Marie knows something, right? And basically, this is a system. It's a third-party company. They're almost acting something like a bank for us that enables Arbonne to pay us every single week. And this is so, so important. So when you are talking to people about that right now money and you're prospecting, you're saying like Arbonne can make a difference for you right away. There's none of this waiting 4 or 5 weeks anymore to get paid. They can get paid within that first week. And that is so, so powerful. So we really want to make sure that you understand that this is a massive benefit. And I think we all know what it's like to be like, well, I had a great month, or, you know, like I'm going to have an even better month next month, but I have to wait. And I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to get paid because it depends on a bunch of things in terms of when the build happens. So this is going to be consistent. You're going to get paid consistently every Tuesday, unless there's a holiday, then it'll get bumped to the next day. And it's going to be for the previous work, the previous week's activity, which runs from, I want to say it's Saturday to Friday. I underlined it, Saturday to Friday. Okay. Marie's going to cover some more details, but there is a great frequently asked questions on Arbonne under the source. Just put in Pure Pay. It's 2 words. If you put it in as 1 word, you'll get nothing. It's 2 words, Arbonne Pure Pay. And you're going to get tons of information here. But essentially, what you need to understand is that this is how Arbonne is now paying us. So essentially, every week on Tuesday, you're going to see that money go into your Pure Pay account. And at the end, the normal time where we're used to getting paid, like at the beginning of the next month, you're also going to get paid. So the weekly pay are your commissions. This is the stuff Arbonne doesn't need to calculate. They don't need to double check anything. You sold $100 of product to a preferred client. You made $15. It's super, super simple. You're going to know what's coming. It's so awesome, guys. Like you're going to know, I know this much money is coming. I can make decisions based on that. And then the beginning of the month, when you get your usual commissions payout, that's where Arbonne, has to do the regular build process, and you'll get your kind of bigger check typically, or your bigger amount of money. Now, once it goes into your Pure Pay account, you have a couple of different things you can do with it. You can't pay from that account because they're not a bank, but you can transfer it to your own bank account. You can transfer it to an Arbonne prepaid Visa debit card. And there's lots of advantages to using that. And this is another important tool that I want you to understand. If you're talking, there are definitely people out there that particularly in some of the younger generations, I feel so old saying that don't want to have a bank account. This enables them to not have to have a bank account because they can transfer their money from their Pure Pay account right onto their Arbonne Visa prepaid debit card and use that instead, if that's the way people want to do it. You can set up auto transfers so that it automatically goes into your bank account consistently. There's a lot of different options. If you have already earned commissions this month, you will have received an email from Arbonne about the Pure Pay system. And if you know you've earned commissions and you haven't seen it, make sure you check your junk folders, any junk mail that it may have gone to, because it's coming not from Arbonne, it's coming from this third-party Hyper wallet, and they are really well known. And the other thing we want you guys to understand is this has become the way of doing business within the social marketing, the network marketing arena. This is what's happening in all companies. And Arbonne has wanted to do this for a long time, but Arbonne doesn't do anything unless they do it the best way possible. So they took their time to make sure we could get the best possible company in every way. And that's who we're working with now. Hyper Wallet will be on site in Las Vegas for those of us who are there. So if you have questions that you're not finding an answer to, make sure you get your areas and VPs those questions so we can get them answered for you next week. There's tons of stuff in here. You can change to different languages if that's important to you. There are a few fees. Mainly, those fees are associated with doing something like a little unusual. So if you want to transfer your money into PayPal, which is only available in the United States, it's going to cost you $1. If you want to go to a different prepaid debit card because you don't want to use the cool, pretty Arbonne one, which it's beautiful, we've seen it, that will cost you $1. If you want a check, that will cost you $2.50 or $4 in Canada. And then there's a return service, and that's not going to apply to everybody. We don't do that. We don't return service here, but that's $10. If you have money going into your account and you're not using it, like for a while, there's a little fee. But I mean, this is all stuff you want to use your money. You're going to get paid. You're going to transfer it. You're going to use it. But there are like tiny fees, but they're only for if essentially you're trying to use, the way I was looking at it, if you're trying to use PurePay as a bank account, that's not what it is. It's a way to pay you. So if you just leave your money sitting there like it's a bank account, eventually they say, no, this isn't what we do. So that's the basics of it. There's access to it right from my office. And I mean, even it's just, guys, I can't tell you how excited I am about this. Like, it is such an awesome, awesome thing. And it's going to be so great for prospecting. So Marie, take it away. We've got more to say.
Okay, no, Nair, that was amazing. That was pretty much everything I had on here. So a couple things. So just understanding the power of this. Actually, let me give you a couple details and then I'll wrap it up with that real quick. So this is where, like Nair mentioned, we're paid, it runs from Friday, Saturday to Friday. So right now we're in the middle of it. So anything you sell to your personal clients or preferred clients from now until Saturday, you're going to get paid this coming Tuesday on. Now, if you, it's basically like an online wallet system is kind of how they describe the Hyper Wallet. For those in Australia, because this is for Australia, New Zealand, and UK, there's different banking laws and things. So you guys right now basically just have to be set up for your direct deposit. So if you're not already, you definitely need to be set up for direct deposit, and that is how they will automatically pay you weekly. You don't have Hyper Wallet yet, but it's coming, I believe, this summer. So you don't have that debit card yet, but again, they're working on that. So the debit card, what that is, if all of this, like Nair said, is in the frequently asked questions, but I know it's so much easier sometimes to have somebody just explain it. So like, here's what the, like it's this branded pay card. So you automatically get one virtually where you have almost like this wallet in your PurePay that you can use just like a preloaded like Visa card, right? Like one of those debit cards or something that you can use to purchase things online, to even order your own Arbonne products. If you want a physical Arbonne PurePay debit card, which is what they're showing here, you consultants, districts, and areas get this green one, and then they have a special branded one for RVPs and NVPs. You can request that, and you'll get it sent to you. And as long as you use it within the first 60 days, it's free. If you don't use it within the first 60 days, it's like $1.95 they charge you. So this is for US and Canada. Now, they're doing a special promotion right now that the first 10,000 consultants who request a card and load it and spend $100 with it will also get a $100 voucher to redeem towards travel-related rewards like hotel, flight, car rental, that kind of stuff. So that's a fun thing. So once you have basically gotten $100 in your pay account, you can request one of these cards, transfer it to this, and then use that. So just please send any questions our way. To be honest with you, we are learning all of this with you. All of the VPs, everybody together have the same information right now with that sheet and everything. So let us know any questions. Just a couple of things that I know were helpful to me that I wanted to pass on to you. the fees, like Nair mentioned, there is for each month that you get paid from Arbonne in the Pure Pay account, your commissions, there's $1.50 fee. That's not every time, every week. It's just 1 month. And there is a way to get that reimbursed when Arbonne in July rolls out our new CRM, which is like, what is it? It's customer, it's like our you guys know what
Customer management software.
Customer management software that's through Microsoft. Microsoft Office Pro. There's going to be an option where we enroll in that, and there's a fee with that. When you're enrolled in that, they will automatically credit every month your $1.50 into the Pure Pay. So we're not going to be charged that. The only other thing, like Nair mentioned, is if you have someone who is a consultant that isn't maybe like building the business or isn't regularly in activity or going to take a long break or something, just have them clear their money out, because the only time that you're charged an additional fee is if your money is just sitting in there and for 3 months, after 3 months, if nothing has come in from Arbonne and nothing has come out from you and the money's just been sitting there for more than 3 months, they charge you $5. So it basically just needs to be moving a little bit, and you can set up to do this automatically. If you're like me, I've just been so programmed over the years that I just get paid monthly, that's how we have it budgeted and worked, and I'm just not ready to switch that yet. So I'm going to let it personally accumulate in there all month and have it automatically transfer out at the end of the month. But you can do that however you want. You can access it at any time. You can automatically transfer it at any time. And I think that's it, other than what Nair mentioned. So the exciting thing about this, you guys, when we're starting new people, or even for yourself, seriously, like if someone says, I want to get started at Arbonne, but money's an issue, I'm going to sign up right now, sell 5 kits this week, you're going to get paid $250 next week. Like, that's huge. We get paid around $50 per ASVP we sell, right? So look at the power of that when you're sharing this with people, or even for yourself. If you want that extra money that you need for GTC next week, hello, go sell some ASVPs in the next few days and get paid Tuesday before you leave. And boom, you've got that extra cash accessible to you right away. So this is huge and really exciting, especially for new people. But really for all of us, but for people getting that money right away. So Danielle, a lot of that information. So please, like I said, I know that was really quick. I have more slides and info. If any of you guys want to see any of that, just let us know. Reach out with your questions, because it is something new that we need to get familiar with. So it can take some time.
Thank you so much, Nair Marie. I know I have a consultant who's reached out to me with questions. I'm like, I know nothing. So I really appreciate the two of you taking some time to give us a little bit of information. We're going to switch gears a little bit. And for the next, 16 minutes, my goal is to help you see this business as an actual profession and to see yourself as a professional. Because that's what we're in. We're in a profession called network marketing, or social marketing as the new term is. And the reason why I want you to see it as a profession and yourself as a professional is because there is no way you will grow to the top of the company without seeing that. And if you are on this right now and taking the time to connect, or you're listening to this, you have a goal to grow this. And so the sooner you see this industry as a profession and yourself as a professional, you're going to be able to grow. So let me just talk to you a little bit about the industry of network marketing. It's about 100 years old. There's different research out there trying to say who started what when, but we have, a century behind us now. And it is a business model that is really taking off nowadays. So it's been around for a while, it's not going anywhere, and it's actually picking up steam within the last 2 decades. If you don't believe me, check your Facebook. Have you seen any friends posting about any network marketing business that they might be a part of? Now listen, some people do it well, some people do it really, really bad, but at any point, they're giving proof and evidence that people are joining this industry, and that this industry is something that the mainstream people are becoming part of every single day. I believe it's every 10 seconds a new person becomes a network marketer. So please, this industry is huge. According to Direct Selling Association, in the US, there's 20.5 million people involved in network marketing. Okay, 20.5 million people in the US. 800,000 of them, this is their full-time gig. 4.5 million, this is their part-time gig. 15 million are discount customers. Okay, so there's 20 million plus in part of this industry, and about 5 million of that, so 25% of those people are actually doing this as a business, whether it's full-time, part-time. Okay. Survey of the US population, 50% of our US population is willing to purchase from network marketing company. There are 325 million people in the US. So I want you to think about that for a second. There are 325 million people, half of which have said they'll purchase from network marketers. So I'm not the best here, but we'll say about 160 million people have said they would purchase from a network marketer. 160 million. Well, right now, 20 million are part of the industry. That leaves 140 million people in the US. So if you're sitting here feeling like you are like tapped out and you don't know anyone else to call, there's 140 million people that pretty much have said they'll purchase from a network marketer. 140 million people, okay? So that's a lot of people that's willing to buy from us. So let's talk about people buying from us. That's income. And this is really what Maria and I are talking about, this weekly commission check. That's income, right now money. And Donna Johnson, our leader here, she has a group called Go for Gold on Facebook, and she recently had a Facebook post from March 17th talking about income and talking about how income's like your right now money. And literally for us now, it is your right now money. Like Maria was saying, you need more money for Vegas next week, go sell some ASVPs, and on Tuesday you'll get that money. Like that's amazing. It's right now money. You can increase your commission by selling more. But really, once you start getting in a rhythm with this, your commission's going to stay pretty linear. So yeah, maybe you'll get a little bit more commission because as you do this longer, you might get better at sharing information. You might be better at closing the deal. I hate that thought of that. Like that's just me and my anti-sales mind. I stink at that. But I know that if I actually put time in learning the skill of closing, I would sell more products and that would give me a larger commission check. But even though there's only so many hours in the day, so your commission, if you might make $500 commission, over the 10, 20, next 30 years, you'll probably keep making $500 commission, maybe $1,000. But somewhere in there, your commission is like your right now income that you get for selling a product. And that's the direct sale piece of what we do. But the reason why this profession is so genius is the multi-level part of what we do. So we have the direct selling piece. We sell a product, we get paid a commission. That is called income. And then we have a piece that's called multi-level marketing. And that's how we create wealth. So wealth is different than income. Income's, you're getting it right now for your time. Lots of people get income. They're called employees, right? They get income. They give their time. They get income. You can go to school and get more experience and maybe get a better job to create more income. But typically, you can't create wealth as an employee. Typically, you are just creating income for your current life. So 90% of Americans who are working are just employees. They give their time, they get their dollar. And 76% of them are living paycheck to paycheck in our country. So think about that. They're just living paycheck. They're not even saving. So there's no chance of creating wealth for those 76%. On that 14% that are employees, maybe they're saving some. But really, the people that are creating wealth in this business model are the people those 90% are working for. And those are the people creating wealth. And the economy has completely changed because 100 years ago, 90% of the economy was an entrepreneur. 90% of our economy was farmers and merchants and people that had their own businesses selling, and now 90% are employees. This statistic is about 5 years old, so maybe that number's changed a little bit because the network marketing industry has grown in the last 5 years, but it's probably pretty similar to this day. So people are starting to shift and want something different. And they're looking at how our economy is changing. Our economy is becoming more of a performance-based economy where people are getting paid on their performance, not necessarily their time. So how good and how quickly they can perform is how they're getting paid. And with this performance-based economy shift, the other thing that's going to happen, and I'm sure you've already seen it, and I actually just talked to a teacher in a district near my house that they laid off 30 teachers this year and 30 teachers last year because companies are laying people off. They're expecting more out of their employees. They're going to be paying them for their performance, so they'll need less people to do the task because people will be performing better. And then technology coming into play allows us to do more with less physical people. So people are getting laid off. Companies are downsizing. College students are graduating. Over half of students that graduate don't get a profession with their degree. And our baby boomers, our retirees, are looking for additional income, flexible ways to get it. They weren't expecting to live as long as people are living these days, and our system's not set up to fund that. So there's people from college students to retirees that need this additional income. So how can we take this control back instead of spending our precious hours creating wealth for somebody else? Well, we have a couple options. One is a franchise. We can become a franchise owner. So somebody's already figured out how it works, and we just have to invest in getting all their knowledge. Typically, franchise costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's going to take a lot of your time to get in there and start building that. The second way is a traditional business owner, and still with traditional businesses every day, people are starting them, but you have to have the knowledge, you have to have the time, and you have to have the finance to do a traditional business. So the third way is network marketing. And with this, it allows us to not have to have all the knowledge. Arben's already done that for us. Scientists, doctors, marketers, they've figured that all out. We don't have to have a lot of time, so we fit this around our schedules, and we work part-time to build our wealth over time. And then our startup cost is so low, and because of that low startup cost, it gives us low risk. Love you. So if this is a real profession where you can generate income as well as wealth, why do we play so small with it? Because I know a lot of you are thinking, wow, I probably do play really small with it. So how can we treat this and give it the respect it deserves? So I want you to think about some of these numbers about industries, and you've probably heard some of them before, but like, the NFL is a $9.5 billion industry. People respect that industry. People pay professionals in that industry lots of money. Music industry, $15 billion industry. Again, musicians, I worked in radio. They get paid a lot of money if they're at the top of that, for sure. Video gaming, $76 billion industry. Movies, how much can top actresses and actors make in this? $88 billion industry. Natural foods, $90 billion industry. Network marketing, almost $80 billion industry. This is a real industry, and people can make real wealth by treating it as a profession. So be really proud to be part of this. Start reading if you don't already, and if you haven't read Dare to Dream, Work to Win by Dr. Tom Barrett or The 4-Year Career. Those are two that you really need to read. Dare to Dream, Work to Win kind of gives us like the common fears and hesitations, the common stumbling blocks, the possibilities. It really opens your eyes to what the industry is. But The 4-Year Career by Richard Brooke really maps out how this works, how you can actually create this income by using what's called geometric progression, which is just taking a number and multiplying it by the same number. So for example, in his book, and actually is what we do as well in Arbonne, is the number 4 he uses. And we talk about 4 all the time, right? 4 legs of a table makes this table Stable table. 4 legs in your business makes a stable organization. 4 wide MVPs. That's our every single one of us goal. And if you don't know what that is yet, trust me, that will become your goal, to be a 4 wide MVP. So this number 4, the way it works is it starts with you. You find 4 people. So now you have 4 people on your team, and you teach them to go find 4 people. You have 16 people on your team. You teach them to go find 4 people. You have 64 people on your team. You teach them to find 4 people. You have 256 people on your team, and you teach them to find 4 people. You have over 1,000 people on your team. Those are generations within your organization. So your first generation, you have 4. Your second generation, you have 16. Your third generation, you have 64. Your fourth, you have 256. And your fifth, you have 1,024. So when you think of it this way as generations and as teaching the system of finding 4 people to work this, think of it now as sales. So if each person just sells $100 a month, well, your first generation is only making $400. But your 5th generation is making $102,000. So that's only doing $100 a month. So think about your organization and where you want to go. We talk about the building block of 2,500 all the time. So 4 people doing 2,500, that's first step area right there. So the way that it works in relationship to our compensation plan is how you're going to make money. So a professional understands this geometric progression and how it builds over time. A professional understands their compensation plan. So I know that I've had questions from some few people on compensation plan. I'm not going to be going over that tonight. There is a video on Carlita's website, but I can see a need for an updated one, especially since the new plan has come out. It came out in January. So if you haven't seen the new compensation plan, please, it's right on your dashboard. It's on the source. Understand how at least the level you're at and the next level works. So this is why we're looking for business builders, because business builders will allow us to compound affect our wealth within our organization. And smart business people are attracted to this business model. Now, many of us, not to say we're not smart business people, but let's face it, many of us were attracted to this because of the ingredient policy, because we love to help others, because it gives us hope and it gives us the opportunity to give other people hope. I mean, that's the fun part, right? This hope part, this feeling part. But when it comes down to business, go find a really smart business person who wants to give people hope, who cares about safe ingredients, and who knows business. And they will jump in and they will grow to the top of this company really quickly. Debbie Neal. There's many, many people in Arbonne that have grown very quickly because of their business background. So keep that in mind when you're thinking of who you're talking to. Go after the best of the best. Like, please, lead with the business 100%. And know that when you're out there leading with the business, you will find the clients because people will learn about the products. They won't be interested in the business and they'll want to listen more about the products. So you'll find that. But remember, when you're talking to friends, family, neighbors who aren't that supportive, chances are they're employees. Chances are they are not building wealth. And I know I've said wealth like 500 times tonight. I want you to know, in my mind and in many people's minds that are at the top of this company that have wealth, that means several things. It means freedom. It means choices, opportunities to pay it forward. It doesn't just mean money. I mean, that comes with it. That's part of wealth, but it's all those other things that we're looking for and we're looking to give other people them. So chances are those people that are negative about what you're talking about, they're probably part of the 76% of our population that works for somebody else and lives paycheck to paycheck. So if you want to really, really build this and become a professional, you have to listen to network marketing professionals, and then you need to become one. And it takes time, and it takes a professional athlete practices hours a day. Doctors, that's a profession, they spent a decade learning to do what they're doing. So it takes time. So please, I love the book, The 4-Year Career, Dare to Dream, Work to Win. And every single network marketing professional out there will tell you the best way to build this is by connecting. And the best thing you can connect to once a year is your largest conference. Next week, Arbonne's GTC, Global Training Conference. There's still time to get in. I can't believe we're not sold out yet. If you want to go next week to Vegas and attend our biggest event, you can still sign up if you're not already signed up for it. The number one way to grow yourself as a person in network marketing, become a professional, to grow your business, to grow a team, to inspire people within your team is to attend that event. The second best way is to attend it virtually. So if there's no way you're going, sign up for the virtual GTC. You need that. That's your biggest connecting. And I'm just going to wrap us up right now. Eric Worre talks about, I believe it's Eric Worre and GoPro. He talks about how he was at the first training conference he ever went to because he read network marketers books and everyone said, you got to get to it. He's like, I had no money. I had to bust my tail to get there. I had no money. I had to, sleep on the floor and not eat good food and all that good stuff. And I got there and somehow I bump into the number one seller of the company. And not knowing what to say and being, new to everything, I'm like, so what's the secret? And he could have been like sarcastic, and there's no secret to what we do, right? But instead he said to him, Eric, look in that room. Now I'm going to talk to you about GTC. Look in that room. There's 18,000 people. Next year, only half of them are coming back. The year after that, only half of them are coming back. The year after that, only half of them are coming back. Next thing you know, we're down to like a quarter percentage of the people. Be one of them, because those are the people that make it to the top of this company. They stay with it. They stay connected. They stay consistent, and they give it time. Thanks for being on tonight. I'm going to stop our recording.